Good evening and thanks for joining us. The Canadian Senate is supposed to be a place of sober second thought. Today, though, it was all about high drama and political intrigue. 3 senators accused of gross negligence all showed up today. All 3 were appointed by Prime Minister Stephen Harper. All were once darlings of the Conservative Party, but now it wants them suspended without pay, and they are not going down without a fight. Senator Mike Duffy went on the offensive today, dragging the Prime Minister directly into the heart of this scandal. Michael Couture begins our reporting tonight.
Are you here to defend yourself, Senator Wallin? One by one, the senators embroiled in scandal walked through the Senate doors. Pamela Wallin and Patrick Brazeau said nothing to the crush of cameras waiting for them. Duffy, who claimed to be too sick to work, did show up to fight for his job and his $135,000 annual salary.
Senator, any comments?
Inside the chamber, where cameras aren't allowed, Duffy dropped a political bombshell on the office of the Prime Minister.
So after caucus on February 13th of this year, I met the Prime Minister and Nigel Wright. Just the 3 of us. I said that despite the smear in the papers, I had not broken the rules. But the Prime Minister wasn't interested in explanations or the truth. It's not about what you did, it's about the perception of what you did that's been created in the media.
He went on to say he wished he had the courage to refuse what he called the PMO scheme.
I was ordered by the Prime Minister, pay the money back. End of discussion. Nigel Wright was present throughout, just the 3 of us.
Even though that meeting involved just the 3 of them, Duffy says other high-ranking senators were involved. He detailed a phone conversation with then Senate Leader Marjorie LeBreton and Harper's new Chief of Staff, Ray Novak.
Senator Breton was insistent. You've got to do this, Mike. Do what I'm telling you. Quit the caucus within the next 90 minutes. It's the only way to save your paycheck.
These shots across the bow of the Conservative Party came just days after Duffy's lawyer made similar claims. Earlier today, LeBreton was dismissive. Did you give Senator Duffy the okay for his residency, as he claims?
I just said to someone, some people have vivid imaginations. Absolutely not.
Vivid imagination or not, the political damage caused by Duffy's allegations are now reaching far beyond the original Senate expense scandal. Michael Couture, Global News, Ottawa.
We have security here.
Our chief political correspondent Tom Clark joins me now. Tom, wow, explosive stuff. It looks like if Mike Duffy is going down, he is determined to bring the Prime Minister with him.
Absolutely right, Donna. I mean, it was an extraordinary moment in the Senate. Let me tell you just some of the words that Mike Duffy used to give you an idea. He talked about bribery, extortion, criminal conspiracy, monstrous political schemes. This, he says, could only happen in Iraq, Iran, or Russia. Well, it may have been a lot of rhetoric, high-flying rhetoric, but nevertheless, it gives you an idea of it. And yes, you're right. If yesterday, through his lawyer, he was threatening to take down the Prime Minister, today he brought the big guns to the knife fight and said, that's it, I'm telling you everything I know, and this can't be good for Stephen Harper.
Well, it can't be, and astonishing too, because Mike Duffy was once the darling of the party. He was one of its biggest fundraisers. So how does the Prime Minister respond to this now? He has to change his tack, doesn't he, and address what Mike Duffy has accused him of.
Well, you might think, but perhaps not. And for this very reason, if he addresses what Mike Duffy has talked about, he gives it credibility. And the last thing that he can afford right now is to get into a mud fight with Mike Duffy over what did the Prime Minister say, when did he say it, and did he lie about it? Because that's at the heart of what Mike Duffy is trying to say. Now, keep in mind that at the end of the day, Donna, this is he said, who do you believe? Do you believe Mike Duffy? Do you believe Stephen Harper? Well, at this stage of the game, this battle is far from over. And, you know, I thought that there were 2 interesting things because Patrick Brazeau also spoke after Mike Duffy, not as forcefully perhaps, but he did have a warning for the other senators, especially the Conservative senators. And he said, before you vote to expel me, you all better be clean, because if you're not, you're going down too. So this is the tone of what's happening in the Senate right now, and it's fascinating. I bet you Stephen Harper wished perhaps that he had prorogued for a few more months.
Possibly, yes. Well, Chapter 2 is coming tomorrow. We'll wait for that with huge interest. Tom Clark in Ottawa, thank you.